Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Friend or Foe Esports, Week 7, Day 2 of the Luna League, and that's the very last day of our regular season here at FOF. Playoffs is just around the corner, but before that, we have a few games to bring your way. Kicking things off with game number 1 of the night, Serenity Senate is taking the blue side and Fraud Squad on the red side. The playoff weight in this game is if FS are able to take this win, they will force a tiebreaker with SCR again for 5th place seed. I'm excited to see what these two teams can bring to the table this game, and as always, my name is Whirler, and my partner in crime tonight, we have Anti.
Hello. And today we are going to see the first few picks right after we saw play-ins today at World, so we're going to see whether or not some of these teams are going to be meta-slaving it up with picks that are broken but not necessarily practiced, or if they're just going to stick with tried and true. And with the Shinzao, a staple of Friend or Foe this season, and the Leona and Jinx being picked up, it seems like we're just going to go with the things that we're already tried and experienced with. The bands definitely illustrate that. Like, the bands definitely illustrate that. You know,
Okay.
There's... You know, the Nami ban, the Lulu ban, and the Veigar ban. It's a lot of interesting things that you definitely wouldn't see at the top levels of play. With the Morgana being picked up very early.
Definitely so. Cassiopeia right behind her, and that's a lot of DPS already, and I like to see that. Cassiopeia is it's such a niche champion to pull out because honestly, I would argue Cassiopeia's DPS can match that of Jinx if given the right opportunities.
Cassiopeia can definitely match. The thing about Cassiopeia's DPS is that she's so much lower range than Jinx, right? So right now, the problem with Cassiopeia is that she's a DPS mage in the mid lane, which is great and all, but why would you ever pick Cassiopeia when you can play Ryze or Azir, which are two champions who do the same job, but just from a safer distance? And Cassiopeia will output more damage than them. It's just, can she stay safe while doing it? I don't know. And Serenity need to have a front line behind this in front of this Cassiopeia in order to continue to appeal for her. And there's two ways to do it. One is by having a true raw tank, which against Jinx, honestly, probably the play. Or an aggro tank that can dive the backline in order to keep people from autoing the Cassiopeia, which also works exceedingly well into this team composition, considering Jinx doesn't have much peel, though they do have a lot of engage. And the Irelia ban going to be coming out.
It's an interesting ban coming out from the side of Serenity Senate as we're into the second phase pick of bans, and we got Syndra being locked in for Fraud Squad. Gouchmaster on these control mages. I think the last time I saw these guys was against skill-based last week in one of the most neck and neck games I've ever seen in my life. Gouchmaster pulled out a Veigar, which I think they banned on their own side. Is that not?
Oh, that's a Cassiopeia top.
Oh, wait, that's a lot of AP. Wait, hold on. Could that be a cast bot? That could be a cast bot.
It could be, but like Cassiopeia bot's not that good.
Is Cassio top any better?
Yes, by a long shot.
Is it actually?
It's actually. It would also explain the Irelia. Oh my god.
Oh, but it is Cassio bot.
Why
Cassio
would you
more.
ban Irelia so you can pick Darius blind? Explain to me. Is their top laner some sort of Irelia one trick?
That's a great question. Papa Bear, I don't think I've seen the likes of him play Irelia at all.
Understand.
However, going into this, he is going to pick. I have seen Papa Bear many times on the Mundo, so that is definitely comfort for him in a nutshell. Explain this Darius pick, because I feel like you have a lot of passion behind the.
Okay, so the thing about a Darius pick is that Darius as a champion, not a bad champion in the top lane, and very easy to execute on, right? Like, you know, it's very simple to trade. You get your auto resets, you get your stacks, and when you hit 5 stacks, you instantly win any trade. And you just win early. The thing about Darius is that he's usually not blind pickable because there's so many champions that you can use in order to punish him. Irelia is not one of them. Rumble is okay at punishing Darius. Of the champions I would ban so you could pick Darius blind, these are two of the ones I would not be taking off the table. Either way, we're going to have to see how it works out on the Rift. Mundo Darius is fairly simple from both sides. Darius has to continue to try to poke down Mundo with short, quick trades, and Mundo just has to survive. And Mundo's pretty good at that as long as they understand to stay back and just farm a cleaver and just poke with the last hitting with E. And Darius should not be able to get a snowball here. But Mundo
Yeah.
also shouldn't be able to do too much in this lane.
And with that, that brings us into game number 1 of the night. We got a simple 5-point going on both sides of the map. Nothing going on in terms of invades, just a flag being thrown into a bush. Frozen Incursion is going to be spotted out. And it looks like it's going to be bot side starts for both junglers heading into this game as they both pick up an Oracle Lens after dropping a ward. What do we think about these lane matchups? So far, I am the most interested in seeing Morgana Cass against Jinx Leona. This is going to be a 2v2 that is a sight to see and will be nothing but bloodbath across the board. What do you think?
Morgana Cass should absolutely be getting ganked a ton. It's not even a question. You have Leona on your team. The Morgana does not have heal. The Cassiopeia doesn't have heal. There's like zero way for them to get out without flashing. So I feel like IOIM starting bot here means that unless you get like an early cheese gank, it's very difficult for you to actually punish the Morgana Cass. I don't know. I feel like you should have just started top and make your way bot. The moment that your Leona hits level 2, you just gank and you just burn both flashes, you repeat gank. And it's more cast bot is something I've been taking a quick look into. It's not terrible, but I wouldn't pick it like this.
I can see definitely why. I mean, there's a lot of there's a lot of raw tank and CC on the side. Like the Leona alone kind of tells me to, you know, stray away from an immobile DPS mage such as Cassio, where really your only sign of saving yourself is the miasma you have, but Leona isn't really affected by that in terms of engage. And same with Jarvan.
Yeah, one of the things is that while Cassiopeia does have the W in order to ground Leona and make sure that she can't actually go in with E, I don't agree with the Morgana pick here. Because we already know that Amumu is ridiculously good, especially at enabling those magic damage champions with the Amumu passive, so why not take Amumu? And if neither Fraud Squad nor Serenity are willing to or able to pick Amumu, that's very rough going into playoffs, considering that Amumu is one of the stronger picks that we've seen this season. And Jarvan making his way bot.
Boy, here we go. He's jumping down here with the flag and drag. Spell Shield is going to prevent the knockup from happening. No follow-up will be initiated. And they're just going to call it off there. Just a quick little stop by fast food restaurant, picking up a number 1, and going to walk over to the river and get some crab on the side. What do you think?
So the thing is here, right? So they saw Jarvan bot. They saw that he had blue buff. They saw that Jarvan only had 16 CS. So Shinsa should know that Jarvan's top side is available. And Frozen Incursion not immediately going for the invade is a wasted opportunity. So while the gank wasn't terrible, IOIM should have been punished significantly harder for that. And Frozen Incursion missing out on a very juicy opportunity, but nothing too big happening.
Alrighty, getting a good stun. I think the directed camera has only been panned towards the bot lane so far, and maybe a couple times in the top lane. I think that little 2-second switch of mid lane has all we've seen going on in there. And honestly, it's pretty even in the mid lane. Health bars are looking just the same with the mana bars. Nothing surprisingly going on between these two champions. I feel like nothing should happen until they go 6 anyway. Meanwhile, in the top lane, Darius and Mundo have been doing enough trading to knock out both potions on each side. That being said, Frozen Incursion in the mid lane going to look for something. Gouchmaster going to walk away. With that being said, this top lane has turned quite to a 1v1 fest. I think we saw a couple auto attack trades just a little bit ago, and we might see another as Peace Weezy's taking a lot of poke under tower.
Tiki getting a good ethereal chain off there, but no one in the vicinity to actually capitalize off of it, unfortunately. And this one of the things that we know about LeBlanc. LeBlanc's very, very good at setting up ganks, but unfortunately, Frozen Incursion not going to be able to get too much off of the LeBlanc setup. Papa Bear going in here.
P-Sweezy biting off a little more than he can chew, trying to get the healing from the Q. He does get the healing, but it is not nearly enough to dictate trying to trade that. Papa Bear gonna get a free flash out of P-Sweezy for that, and probably a TP as well as he heads back to base. And yep, there it is.
Hold on. You're telling me P-Sweezy back with more than 1,000 gold and did not buy any Grievous Wounds?
That would be correct. That would be exactly what P-Sweezy did, actually.
Well, honestly, against Mundo, Grievous Wounds on it aren't actually as big of a deal as it used to be. Because Mundo used to be, oh, you buy Grievous Wounds, you just instantly win the lane. And right now, I think that Mundo, buying Grievous Wounds against Mundo, very, very important, but it's not as lane deciding. So getting that early Sheen is very, very good for P-Sweezy as long as he can take those short, quick trades in order to make use of that.
Definitely something to consider here as he picks up the Bomby Cinder himself. IOIM going to take a Dark Binding off to the side, going to lose about a quarter of his health. He's going to just ignore it and keep taking the pink ward, walk himself away back into the jungle. We're getting dragon pressure on both sides of the map here. Xin Zhao taking up the red, and Jarvan should be doing the blue. Both junglers still bot side. Let's see what kind of action will ensue behind this.
Interesting rotation from the bot side of Fraud Squad here. I was thinking they would stay for the plate, but they're just going to rotate straight over to the dragon, and IOIM's not quite in the position to really be doing it yet.
But Frozen Incursion is actually making his way up to the top lane, so he's not around to contest this. And I don't think Serenity Senate knew in time. I think they know now, but it's way too late. First dragon of the game, the Cloud Dragon, is going to go to IOM's pocket. Jinx with the Get Excited going to get back down to bot lane with the Swiftness, and that's a really good start for FS.
And FS off to a great start. You know, you see a bit of a CS lead in the bot lane. Unfortunately, in the top lane, while Papa Bear is getting those good trades off, not going to be capitalizing on the CS. And this CS lead, honestly, will probably only continue to grow because Darius is very strong. Oh, gonna go in here.
Uh-oh, Jarvan's coming in the bot lane. Halo's gonna flash the EQ, keep going on Froa Murphy. Froa Murphy is gonna be taken very low, but he's gonna be able to flash cleanse out of there. The Cassio ult's gonna stun up too, but it's not gonna matter. TP from Gouchmaster is gonna be just exactly what they need to get the double kill down here. Froa Murphy and Gouchmaster taking 1-for-1. Morgana gonna go back on Gouchmaster with the turret there. Last person to hit him. He's tanking way too much. I think he took a root under that tower too, which is funny enough. Gouchmaster's gonna go down 1-for-2 in the bot lane, and that's first blood of the game. Going over to Fraud Squad.
And that 1-for-2, honestly, though the Death Under Tower was relatively unfortunate, the 1-for-2 is completely worth it. Because LeBlanc not going to be able to push in too much on the wave, right? Going to lose out on the small CS lead that they had already had at the beginning, but not going to really lose too much in terms of plating. One plate gonna go down. Oh,
and they do have the Rift Herald that they're dropping here, so it's going to be a guaranteed 2 more plates coming out onto both of them. So that's about, that's about 240 gold apiece so far, which is actually really, really good, all things considered. That actually trades the amount of gold that they lost in the bot lane with the 2 kills almost, nearly.
Yeah, and one of the big things that we see here is that Halos and that Morgana and Cassiopeia are not necessarily on the same page. Cass was so far up in that earlier fight, and Morgana was nowhere near in, and Black Shield came out so late because Morgana was just never in range to put it down. Oh, another TP.
We got another TP down to the bot lane. IOIM off to the side. Papa Bear looking to dive this bot lane as he's going to be taking it on to half health. Froa Murphy is going to be taking some engage, some poke off to the side. And not too sure why they committed this. They got nothing off of it. They didn't go for the dive, and there's no dragon to be seen. So that was a little bit of a question mark play coming out. Flash W from Frozen Incursion to get on the Gouchmaster. Gouchmaster going to be taken very low here, but the ulti is going to take Frozen Incursion very low, and the tower is going to be able to finish him off 1-for-1. Gouchmaster trading for that. Definitely good on him to be able to trade a kill after Serenity Senate used resources on him. Speaking of using resources, let's go back to this bot lane. Exactly what were they thinking with that dive? Or failed dive, rather. I'm not too sure, actually. But Froa Murphy going to take a Dark Binding into a Cassio ult. That's going to set him to stone, and he's going to go down to the grave. Raw Dog Ross is a little bit lost in the sauce as he's going to be able to Zenith Blade himself some distance. Going to flash away. They don't have anything to follow it, and Raw Dog Ross will be able to get out with his life. Ollie was chasing up just a little bit. Not looking like Ollie wanted to give that one up. Understandably so. That's going to be 1 kill for the bot lane.
And that's 1 kill going over. And Cassiopeia, you know, still, well, like I said, while not as safe as champions like Jinx or Azir or Ryze, still does output a lot of damage, and you have to respect that. And the moment that you get bound there, if you can't, one of the things you can actually do to turn yourself around is placing a ward. So if you want to dodge Cassiopeia ulti and you place a ward, your character model will turn into the direction of the ward, which can actually allow you to dodge Cassiopeia ults. And if you're bound, then and there's no way for you to move in order to turn yourself around, I think that's actually the only way to do it.
Wait, you could do that while rooted?
I believe so. I'm not 100% sure, so don't quote me on that.
Huh. I will definitely be trying that next time I see myself in that situation. However, still very good for Cassio to start getting the ball rolling for her as well. The gold is rather even around the map. Mid is going to be even. Top lane is actually going to be ahead by just a little bit with the Darius. And with that being said, Froa Murphy getting caught just again. Ollie coming out with the ulti, and Froa Murphy is going to be taking the 1 HP. Cleanse is going to come out, but that's not going to be enough. Alos picking up another kill for himself and getting the ball rolling even faster for him.
And I was about to say that, you know, Fraud Squad's bot lane being ahead was looking so good for them, but unfortunately Froa Murphy going to walk up just a little bit too close without any backup and going to be immediately punished for it, even with the cleanse up. Flash coming up in just a bit, but not in time. Oh
my god, that timing was so close. For Murphy with the attempted steal with the rocket, almost getting there in time. And honestly, I feel like if it was just a millisecond earlier, that would have been a steal.
Yeah, and one of the other things that we see here is Peace Weasley already has the Triforce on deck. You know, Russ going in here.
Spell Shield coming out late, but it's going to stop the root from coming through with the Zenith Blade. The ulti coming out for Cassio is going to stun up Froa Murphy, and they're going to be able to walk out of that one with their life a lot. Used their IOIM off to the side. Halos does have flash for this, but Ollie has been rooted. He's going to be knocked up as well. I think he's going to go down. Zanya's coming up. Stopwatch for him. We got Frozen Incursion in the fray, though, knocking up the Leona. Leona's 1 HP. Frozen Incursion going to be able to take that one out. IOIM off to the side. Going to get the Cataclysm. They're going to try to save Jinx in time, but it's going to be all for naught, as that is 5 people bot lane. Gouchmaster coming into the fray as well, but he is in a bit of a rough spot. Gonna have to flash away. Tiki chasing after him. Chain of Corruptions should be coming out soon. He's gonna have to go back though, because geez, the Cinder ult is just way too strong for Tiki to even face tank. And speaking of face tanking, that's an EQ combo on the Gouchmaster. Frozen Incursion is trying his best to get it, and the healing from the passive is going to be enough, and he's going to be able to take out Gouchmaster in the 1v1, but the Jinx ult off to the side is going to seal the deal for him, and Froa Murphy is going to pick one up to round it all out.
All right, what a fiesta we got on our hands here. You know, you got everyone coming down the bot lane special, and Froa Murphy being a little bit hesitant on the auto attacks, really wanted that kill on Morgana. Unfortunately, not going to be able to pick it up, but going to be able to seal it off with a super mega death rocket from downtown, killing off Frozen Incursion in the jungle. And Gouchmaster honestly played that really well, going to be able to waste so much time from the enemy team that they're not going to be able to get much outside of the bot lane tower, which already was in a pretty good position to be going down.
That was a fight and a half, if I do say so myself. But that's the kind of things I like to see in this game. Just so much bloodbath at the end of the season. Just both teams on either side throwing the punches to get themselves their spot in playoffs. I love to see the action and the chaos. As Halos is actually going to be getting the blue buff on his team. Tiki is going to have to not. That's very unfortunate actually, because the block span costs are very high. But I think Halos here just gets it every time. I would have to agree with that. Tiki up in the bot lane, going to be getting some side lane pressure. Gouchmaster soon to follow, but Gouchmaster just picked up his own blue buff. That's actually really funny. We're going to be playing off to the top side here. Sorry, I like blue buffs, okay? I like...
Fair enough, fair enough. Alright, so one thing I do want to mention, so Fro Murphy is doing this thing that I've seen from a lot of FOF 80 carries, where they go with Noon Quiver into a Zeal item. Oh, fight gonna be starting up here.
Oh, IOIM going to be miasmed up, but the EQ is able to be used through it. IOIM at 1 HP off to the side, and there's going to be a fight going on with Murphy taking the L to P. Sweezy, Frozen Incursion jumping on a Raw Dog Ross. IOIM going to have to run away from that one. Papa Bear flashing away, but it's not going to be for anything as Frozen Incursion is able to flash E right onto him and pick up the 3 kills for their team. Gouchmaster tried to walk up in time. I think looking at the sides, his TP is on cooldown, and it was very recently on cooldown, so I think TP just canceled it.
Gouchmaster actually did TP in, I believe, and got the ulti off on Frozen Incursion and had a very good position to stun the entire team, but was also in a very dangerous position, because if Serenity turn around onto Gouchmaster there, Gouchmaster would be fighting 1v5, and that is not a position you want to find yourself in, especially as a control mage like Syndra. And it's very, very concerning to be in that position. And unfortunately, Fro Murphy going to be on the receiving end of the Darius special, which is just walking right into the back line and saying, hey, AD carry, you don't get to play this game anymore.
Looking at the Jinx's build, I'm not really liking building 2 items at once thing.
Yeah, going back to what I was saying before the fight had started, I really don't like this coming out from
IOIM getting juked out though. P Sweezy.
Oh my god!
Hard left when he should have been taking the right. The flag is not going to matter here. Infernal Dragon has spawned, and I think Serenity Senate got this one on lock with just the amount of leads that they have and just the damage curve that they have over Fraud Squad. I think that they should be able to play this one well the way they're grouping. It's going to be starting it off. The spell immune is going to be taken away from Mundo. But Halo's taking the half from Raw Dog Ross. Raw Dog Ross going to have to walk away from this one. Super Mega Death Rocket's going to take Halos down to below half. But that's going to be 2 free kills for Serenity Senate, and they're walking it straight to the Dragon, and there's not a chance that they'd be able to turn this one.
Yeah, and Serenity going to be taking the Dragon there, all 5 of the members being in the right position at the right time. Unfortunately, from the side of Fraud Squad, it seemed like they had a bit of a split communication where Jinx was clearing out the mid lane while the rest of their team decided that it was time to fight for the Dragon. And unfortunately, it's going to work out very badly for the side of Fraud Squad, just going to put more debt on their side and put more money into the coffers of Serenity. And once again, returning to my previous point, maybe I'll be able to finish it before a fight starts this time. But what Fro Murphy's doing is something we've seen from a lot of FOF 80 carries, where they're going to start Noon Quiver and immediately afterwards go into a Zeal, which is something that I believe I've mentioned this from the moment I saw it. I have hated this since its inception. It is not good. You are splitting so much gold between 2 items, both of which are incredibly important to you. And unless your champion's the type that can actually benefit from rushing a Zeal item first, which, honestly, I don't think that kind of archetype is really around anymore. I think even Twitch and Callista don't benefit from it enough to really justify it. You just straight up finish your mythic first.
I think the The only champions that still do have that kind of get away with it mechanic are the ones that sort of have that crit boost just to get an early 100% crit, and that would be Yone and Yasuo.
Yeah, I think that. But the thing is, even Yone and Yasuo, right? If you do so, you usually don't go Noon Quiver into crit. You still want to finish your Mythic into crit. Or you want to start, with the Zeal item. So you just go with Moral Reminder first. Something like that, right? So just stop splitting up your items. You need these power spikes. The faster you can spike, the faster your team can do things. And by spending an extra, 1,100, 1,300 gold on another item that isn't towards your Mythic, which is that big item power spike, you're going to be delaying the time that your team can actually fight around objectives. And it's paying off very poorly for them here, with Serenity going to be climbing to a 5k gold lead at 21 minutes.
And that's really good for them, especially with Baron coming up just now, a couple minutes ago, or 1 minute ago to be exact. A couple minutes on the second Infernal Dragon. This could be the sole point for SCR, or this could tie it up for Fraud Squad, depending on what goes down. Halo's caught out of position, forced to flash out, gonna drop the Dazzling. I don't remember what that ability is called. I have to look into that. Before Murphy's up in the front line, he's going to be out DSing Halos, but the tower is going to take him out. So that's the DPS carries traded right there, as Gouchmaster, the third and final, is going to be going down, or the fourth and final is going to be going down as well, as Papa Bear hightails it and is able to get out alive. Are they going to try for this Baron? They do have the timers. It's 10 seconds on Jarvan. So I think Jarvan might be able to get here in time. This is a little confusing.
Like, don't get me wrong, you have the death timers, but I don't know if you have the DPS. Darius is strong, and Xin Zhao is strong, but all of these champions are primarily not what you'd see in your ideal Baron taking team, for example. Like, you don't have Vayne, you don't have Ziggs. I think Jarvan might be able to get here in time.
It's gonna be at 1,000 as soon as. Oh my god.
Oh my god.
Never mind. They bursted that down one real quick. Super Mega Death Rocket almost coming in hot to steal that as well. But oh my god, that is the last second they possibly could have done it, because IOIM was just out of range to do anything about it. Same with the Super Mega Death Rocket. They're able to sneak this Baron and get out with their life.
I mean, at that point, I think Papa Bear needs to just get into the pit, trade their life to make sure that they can actually stall the Baron out, right? If you don't think that they can do it in time, then, you just give it up. But at this point, you're a 0-2 Mundo. You don't have much that you're going to be able to help the team with for the next, 30 seconds. Oh my god.
Cassio jumping in here to get the cheese onto Syndra. And it's going to work. The ulti not getting the stun, but it will get the slow. And then on top of the miasma, forcing Gouchmaster to just take the L there because he can't flash out. That's going to be perfect timing because Dragon comes up in about 7 seconds.
Yeah, Halo's going to be putting out so much damage there. And like I said, Cassiopeia, very, very strong champion, puts out a ton of damage. The biggest concern with Cassiopeia is if she can do it safely. And in this game, it seems like Halos has been able to position properly, and with the 2 aggro tanks, it's been basically impossible for the enemy team to really do enough damage to Halos to get them out of these fights. With the exception of that one fight where Fro Murphy got a little bit too bloodthirsty and really, really, really wanted to get that Halos kill, and ended up trading 1-for-1, which honestly benefits the side of Serenity so much more because you're already ahead by almost 10k gold at this point.
And with that, they're just going to start the Infernal Dragon and secure Soul Point. I mean, like, they did that super quickly with just Cassio and Xin Zhao, and good lord, that is a lot of DPS from both members. I mean, we've seen Xin Zhao put in some work with some DPS as well, so we know he's got some backup along with the Gore Drinker to give himself some sustain too. These two are going to be pumping a lot of damage out in terms of DPS. Darius off to the side. I'm not too sure exactly what he's going to contribute, but he does have CC under his belt.
And this tower is just gonna go down here. Inhib tower likely should also be going down.
And we're going to be starting this one.
Oh my god!
Man, Cataclysm, Xin Zhao going to try to ulti to counteract it. Leona is off to the side, is not going to be able to apply anything, and Darius is getting a couple stacks here. That's exactly what he's going to do. He's going to be able to secure the dunks, and they're going to be able to kill 4 members right in front of Gouchmaster's face, just with the swiftness. IOIM with a quick engage, but Serenity Senate with a quick turnaround, and a 1 by 1 by 1 by 1, they're able to get this inhibitor and Gouchmaster.
Oh, beautiful root.
Oh my god, beautiful root, but a beautiful Syndra stun. And the Tiki's actually going to go down to the tower there, so that was really close. But I think Cassio was the one who got that kill. They're going to be able to end this game. Who cares who got what kill? Serenity Senate are going to deny the tie from happening. Oh my god, never mind.
Oh my god!
Oh my god, stop the presses. There's so much going on. They tried to end the game here, but a beautiful J4 knockup into a Super Mega Death Rocket. Yo! So let's see this one again in real time. The Jinx Rocket comes out. That is at least one more auto attack for each member that was standing there, and that game would have been over. That is incredibly played. Fro Murphy coming in with a clutch triple kill. That's a 18. Not 1800. That's with a couple shutdowns. I think that was 1200 in his pocket. And they're pushing out mid lane.
I mean, Super Mega Death Rocket, aptly named because, dear lord, that was a ridiculous ulti, and going to be saving the game, going to be prolonging it. And honestly, while that was an amazing play, we do have to think to ourselves, what can Fraud Squad get off of it? Because that last fight looked so good for them. It was a miracle team fight engage with a 4-man Cataclysm and a stun across the entire team, and Jinx continually free hitting, but they just weren't able to do enough damage. Now, the Lord Dominic's Regard is going to be picked up from the side of Fro Murphy, hopefully should allow them to do enough damage that the Jinx will really be a threat at this point. And at level 13, Jinx is going to be able to output a lot. The Conqueror doesn't quite stack up that well. I think that lethal tempo would honestly have been the play in this game. But if they're going to need another miracle team fight like that, otherwise Serenity are just going to walk right down mid and end that game.
And it's going to be now or never, because Serenity Senate is indeed doing just that, going to be walking in and trying to get their money's worth here. They're not happy about what that Jinx just did, and they're going to be looking to put a stop to this game here and break that potential tiebreaker away from Fraud Squad's grasp, honestly. They can't really do too much off of it. They're not going to force anything. Baron comes up in a minute, Dragon in 2 minutes, and that's going to be their soul. I think it's smart to just play it back, play it safe, play it slow, because they have the leads.
You already have mid continually pushing in, which is going to mean more gold to the side of Fraud Squad, but it does mean that you have a free push on the other 2 lanes, and Darius is going to be pushing out on that bot while the rest of his team is going to be pushing top. A 1-4 split comp, very good from the side of Serenity here, but Fraud Squad have a chance to Goon Squad this. But with Fro Murphy not there, it's going to be a 4v4, 4v3 at best, actually.
And with that being said, they're starting to group up, and now they're a little more clumped than anything.
No.
Our Gouchmaster going to get rooted up here, is going to be taken very low, but he gets a 3-man stun on the 2. Cassio is going to be able to take him down. Tiki is going to be jumped on by Raw Dog Ross, is going to be almost taken out, but not quite just yet. Halos has to run away from that one. P Sweezy TPing in, going to kill IOIM, and he's just getting free hits after free hits. Fro Murphy getting some damage on P Sweezy. Wants to respect the distance because he's 1 dunk away from sending him back to the base. Halos and Ollie are back, and they're looking to contest this tier 2 up here off of This is the shield, which is huge in this case, and Raw Dog Ross is going to have to run away from this one. The Triforce auto attack is enough. He doesn't have the pull to pull in Papa Bear just yet. Is going to take a little bit more damage, but they're going to get the tier 2, and they're going to make their way, I would hope, towards Soul at this point. I don't think they need to contest Baron in this spot.
And as we see, Halo's doing so much damage from Murphy in that last fight. From Murphy having to flash over the wall, and everyone picked up so much gold in that last fight. I don't know just how much damage From Murphy's going to be able to put out at this dragon. I think that the dragon's just going to go straight down. I don't think Jarvan can even remotely start to think about contesting this. And for Murphy, just going to continually push out this mid lane. They're going to be fighting against an Infernal Soul, and it's going to be so difficult. Couchmaster in a bad position here.
And Halos is going to be doing exactly what he did to him before. Just on repeat, Halos hitting him with the fool me once, shame on you, fool me twice, shame on me. Couchmaster is going to be going back to the base off of that. Papa Bear taking up some damage, but he's got the ulti to keep himself healthy. Mid inhib is coming up, and that is their saving grace in terms of them getting a 5-man push with Soul. I feel like they could just do Baron here and then guarantee an end, but I think Soul might just be enough.
Honestly, I think that Soul is enough. You already have one off the map, and a 4v5, a 5v5 was all with Soul alone would already have been good, but a 4v5 is completely free at this point.
And Raw Dog Ross gonna get stunned up here, 2 grounded, and P Sweezy's gonna get a lot of damage on IOIM. The Zonya's coming out from Raw Dog Ross will keep him alive just a little bit longer, but it'll be all for naught. Fro Murphy and Papa Bear are there to fend for themselves, and Couchmaster is coming in hot as well. Fro Murphy gonna go wide on the rocket, but is gonna be able to pick up Morgana before going down to the Darius. They're gonna be ending this game. Serenity Senate have no more chances to throw. The Nexus is blown up, and there goes Fraud Squad's tiebreaker.
And just like that, Serenity Senate going to be taking that win very handily. Going to be bringing out some interesting picks with the Cassiopeia bot. And we're going to be looking forward to seeing this team in the playoffs. That's a lot of damage to champions. Darius going to be outputting the most, to be expected, considering that we saw so much trading on the top side. You know, Darius, Muno, consistent trading. And once you're always hitting the tank, you're always going to be doing damage. But we cannot understate the amount of damage that Cassio was doing in these fights. And that ground was honestly so pivotal because it's so little that the enemy team can do about it. Jarvan can flag and drag, but that's basically it.
Yeah, agreed. Definitely a surprising pick to see come out from the side of Serenity Senate. We were surprised to see it picked in Champ Select, and honestly, I am happy to see how it performed today on Summoner's Rift for the final game for these players before heading into finals. Stay tuned with us for a word from our winners in an interview. Don't go anywhere because we will see you just in one moment, and then afterwards we got 2 more games for you. See you soon.
Hello, folks, and welcome back. I am your friendly neighborhood Shackcaster Shargan. I have joining with me today on the interview desk. Is it Halos and
Yes,
Ollie?
sir.
Yep.
Awesome. I got the pronunciations right. It was kind of one of those things where I was a little bit worried about it. So that bot lane was probably one of the more interesting things I've seen in a while. So can you just kind of give me an idea of like why you guys decided to go with this, the Cassiopeia and the Morgana?
Well,
I'll take this one, or do you want to?
You can take this one.
All right, then. So yeah, I mean, I don't know if you guys know, but like I'm a mid laner. That's like my whole thing. You know, I play pretty much mostly mages in mid lane, and that's kind of what I signed onto the team for. And obviously, you know, throughout the season, we've had a lot of roster instability. We've dropped players here and there. And so at the end of the day, I ended up playing ADC. And so this game, you know, we kind of decided, you know, hey, we're gonna go all out here, and I'm gonna go back to, you know, my one true love of playing control mages. And so we decided we're gonna pull out the Cassiopeia because it's one of my best champions, and so it's where we ended up.
Okay, you know, hey, it's one of those things where it's like if you can take it in the mid lane, why not take it in the bot lane? Just gives you, it's going to take you a little longer to come online, but you've got that extra support there. So just kind of give me a rundown on what your guys' objective was going into this Fraud Squad game, like because I know it's the last game that you guys have of the regular split. We're going into playoffs next week. I believe y'all are facing off against BBZ, so that's going to be kind of a hype game. But with this game particular, but we'll get to the BBZ game in a second. But with this game particular, what was y'all's plan?
Ollie, I'm gonna throw that one to you.
I think our plan, and I speak for everyone on the team, was just try to end the regular season as best we can. You know, we've had a lot of struggles, as Halo mentioned. We had some issues with rosters and people and how we wanted to play out the game. But when it came down to this game, we just all wanted to play our best, so we didn't worry too much about what the most meta picks might be. So we put everyone on comfort picks that they can play the best on, and as you can see, it worked out pretty well.
Yeah, worked out absolutely fantastic. And now that you guys have picked up this win, you're going into playoffs against Blue Bayou. What are you guys kind of expecting? Because I know this whole season's been kind of an uphill battle, like you've mentioned, with all the roster swaps and everything. So do you think the climb's going to get a little bit easier, or do you think you're finally starting to hit that 90-foot vertical right before the summit?
You know, I wish I could sit on here and kind of disrespect them and say there'll be a pushover, but the truth is it won't be. But challenge is nothing new to any of us on the team. As I said, and as everyone knows, I kind of feel like we're the underdogs of the whole tournament because we've just been pushing against adversity from day one. So this is just going to be another challenge we can kind of add to our collection.
All right. And then before I let you go or ask you if you have anything you'd like to say, I do have one more question regarding your sister team Terracotta and how they've been going through their league standings. Have you guys had any like behind the scenes talks, discussions about those games and anything spicy we should know about?
I can't say that there's anything spicy that you know about. I mean, honestly, just the few games that I've watched and like really kind of tried to get an insight into Helios because I enjoy watching that league. Terracotta just has really, really clean, honestly. Like, there's nothing that I see that's like super spicy. They just across the board are just so clean. And the little bit I've talked to Ariri about their games, honestly, man's hyped. So, you know, props to him and Terracotta, honestly.
Absolutely. All right, so I'm gonna ask you one more time, like ask you if you guys have anything you'd like to say to the rest of the league here. I'm opening the floor to you guys.
Well, I'd say that you should make sure never to count us out because we can sneak up on you and surprise you like we did this game, and we're gonna keep on doing that. So just make sure to watch out for us. We've all been putting in the work. We've been practicing and getting better, so you might see something crazy happen.
100% coming off of what Ollie said. Yeah, just look out for our game versus BBC. It's going to be a tough one for sure, but I'm really looking forward to play against a Tef and Orphic again and a little bit of payback.
All right, I'm looking forward to it as well. Halos, Ollie, thank you guys so much. Everyone stick around. We'll be right back after a quick break.